Hey, Steve Stine from Guitar Zoom Academy here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at the Virtuo from Emerald Guitars. Now, some of you might know that I had received this about a month ago. I've just been so busy that I haven't really had time to dive into it. And then about 2 weeks ago, I played in church and I used my regular guitar like I always do. And I was like, man, this would have been a great time to use this because it has both an acoustic pickup as well as electric pickups. And that weekend, I didn't have, there wasn't another player on, so I could have gone from acoustic to electric. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll bring the guitar. Well, luckily I did not, because what I recognized is that you actually need to have one of two things. And if you download the manual, it explains it perfectly, but you either have to have a TRS cable that you then split. So one side of the TRS cable, so the stereo cable goes into the Emerald, one side of it goes into your amp, the other side goes into, a DI or something for your acoustic, which is what I have set up right now. So I'm not running anything. What I'm doing, just to give you a real honest representation, and we'll talk about the guitar itself as well, but to give you a real honest representation of the tone, I'm running into my Synergy amp just like I always do, and then I'm running into my PreSonus Studio audio interface for the acoustic, and that's all I'm doing. Okay, now I might add a little, delay or reverb, something like that, just to make the acoustic sound a little bit sweeter, but that's all I'm gonna do to it. So otherwise, you're hearing it exactly the way it is. Now, what's really interesting about this is because it is an acoustic instrument and an electric instrument at the same time. So down here, this is the volume for the acoustic. This is the volume for electric, and this is the volume for the MIDI. Now, I do not have the MIDI set up. I'm not that far into this yet. And then this is the tone control for the electric. And then you've got your toggle switch like always, bridge position, middle position, neck position. This is the one that controls if it's either on the acoustic or on the electric. That's what this is. So it's pretty straightforward. Now it comes with Fishman pickups. You probably, if you've seen any of my stuff, you probably know I use EMG a lot. So it's gonna sound a little bit different because they are Fishman's, a little bit different set up that way. But before I even worry about the sound of it, the first thing I wanna go into is just the way it feels. Now, you'll notice that the sound hole is actually up here. Now the thing you have to remember is that when you're playing, you're hearing the guitar. I mean, it's a little bit wider, right? So you're hearing this. It's still very thin, but I mean, I don't have anything on right now. Let's make sure I don't have anything on right now. I'm gonna turn both those off. Okay. Now, if you can hear that at all through this microphone, there's a lot of acoustic sound coming out of this, which is great when you're just sitting around playing. Now, does it project as much as, say, a Taylor or a Martin? No, it's not going to project that much because it's probably really meant to be plugged in, but I can certainly hear it. The thing you have to remember is when you're playing on the electric side, you're obviously still going to hear this. So you're going to hear the electric element coming out of your speakers or whatever it might be, but you're going to hear the acoustic element coming out of the guitar itself, unless you're probably really, really loud, which I am not in my studio right now. So I just want you to keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do here is I'm on the acoustic side, and I'm going to go through that. It comes with 9-gauge strings. I'm assuming it always does. That was pretty nice of them to have 9-gauge on for me because that's what I would choose. So as far as its playability goes, the neck is really, really, really smooth. It's not wide. It's, it's not as thin as an Ibanez Gem or something, but it would definitely be more of like a Les Paul kind of style neck, even thinner, maybe even more like a PRS, a little bit thinner on that side. It's not baseball size at all. It's quite thin and comfortable, very comfortable to play. The strings were set up. I needed to tune it just a teeny bit when I took it out of the box. And I haven't had to tune it since then. But, it's very comfortable to play. All of those. Now, I know you're not really hearing it because I don't have anything on yet, but it's really comfortable to play. It's very easy to play. Now, again, is it going to take the place of my Ibanez Gem in a shred band or something like that? Probably not. But again, for stuff where I'm going to be doing a lot of practical guitar playing, both acoustic and electric, that sort of thing, this would have been perfect in church that day I'm telling you about. So what I'd like to do here is turn this up. This is the acoustic now. Make sure it's actually working so I can see this. Yeah. Okay. So I just have the acoustic sound, the volume all the way up. I'm on the acoustic toggle switch here, okay? And yes, I have sweats on. It's Labor Day. I'm taking it easy today, but I wanted to show you this. So it sounds really nice. Now, let's go over to the electric. Now, in the center of this, I could go acoustic and electric. Again, I haven't really figured out a perfect practical reason I would do that, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to head over here to the electric side and show you the electric sound. Now again, from my perspective of playing right now, it's kind of weird because I'm hearing the acoustic coming out of here and I'm hearing the electric coming out of my studio speakers. You have to remember that if you were playing in a louder situation, a more realistic situation, you wouldn't hear this as much, but right now I'm hearing it a lot. So it sounds, almost like I've got a direct signal coming in while I'm hearing the electric, only because I can hear the guitar itself. That's how loud the guitar is on its own. But that's the electric side. So, I could keep the volume up on both of these, move to the acoustic and be playing, and then head over here, just hit this button, this toggle switch right here, and now I'm on. When I get done, I'm back here again. So it's pretty cool. Obviously, it's a beautiful instrument. It's very beautiful. I mean, the neck looks great. The body looks great. When I had him customize it, with this kind of like little shape down here I thought was super cool. Not that you can really see it that well. But, it's just a really, really beautiful instrument, and it's super easy to play. It's really light. With the 9-gauge strings on, it's super easy to play the neck. The neck is really flat. It's very easy, to kind of roll across things that way, which is cool. And for me, the MIDI, I don't know how much I would move into the MIDI aspect of this, but I will like to show you that further down the line, set this up and that sort of thing. It's not really something I do on a regular basis, so I don't have a, situation readily available to do that to show you. But the acoustic and the electric is a very practical thing. I just want to say again, a couple of things. Number one, is this going to take the place of every other guitar I have? No, if I need to be doing Yngwie Malmsteen or something like that on my shreddy style guitars, I'm going to play those guitars. But for rock stuff, all that kind of stuff, especially when I need to be able to move back and forth between acoustic and electric, and I don't want to switch, this would be a perfect guitar for that stuff. And it's not that the neck can't sustain itself, it's just for me personally, obviously something like, one of my Sirs or my Ibanez Gems or something like that is going to feel a little more comfortable. But is it possible to kind of shred across this fretboard? Absolutely it is. It's just going to take me a little while to kind of get comfortable with everything about it. But, first looks here and first plays, it's absolutely wonderful. So anyway, I wanted to give you a little idea on it. What I would love to hear from you is your thoughts on the guitar. If you've ever played any Emeralds, if you have a guitar that maybe has acoustic and electric built in, I know like John Petrucci, his guitar has that. Maybe you've got something like that. Give us some insight on what you might be using. And if you do have an Emerald, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the model that you've got, what you think of it, that sort of thing. And maybe you can help me out as well, all right? So take care. I'll talk to you soon.